I've been reading a lot of articles today online about men and women advocating bringing boys up to be feminists. And the particular article that I've picked out for dissection here is by Al Jazeera America. Al Jazeera, of course, I think that's an Arab organisation, and Arab countries, of course, are very well known for their respect for women. Anyway, the title of the thing is The Case for Raising Feminist Boys, and it's penned by one Erica Sanchez. Now, Erica starts out by declaring it has never been clearer that American society is in desperate need of a generation of feminist men. Bullshit. Right from the get-go. She continues, not men who will take over the women's rights cause and mansplain what feminists are doing wrong, but true allies, probably means underlings, who will hold other men accountable and are committed to gender equality. You already have gender equality. And she says the eradication of misogynistic violence. As usual, no concern whatsoever about violence against men. And that reminds me, the United States, that she's talking about here, have VOWA, the VOWA Act, Violence Against Women Act, 1994, pushed through Congress, a mostly male Congress by Joe Biden, a man, supposedly part of the patriarchy, and it wasn't until 2005 that it was amended to have gender-neutral terminology, and it wasn't until 2012 that violence against lesbians was included in this. This is despite the fact that feminists have been lying through their teeth for decades, claiming that they represent gay people as well as they represent women. Anyway, Erica continues, according to the World Health Organization, 30% of women who I don't give a fuck what the World Health Organization say. I've been to their site, and when it comes to domestic violence, it's just women, girls, women, girls, so they can fuck off. The United Nations, she says, has found that intimate partner violence, no, they can fuck off. They've got the He for She campaign, and if you look at their domestic violence files, it's women this, women that, women the other, girls the other, and so on and so forth. Now she claims 1 in 4 US college women report surviving rape or attempted rape. I believe that report has been discredited. Anyway, if you want the official figures, just go to the Bureau of Justice, use the search box, look up college rape statistics, and you'll find 1.6 women per 1,000 claim that they've been either raped or sexually victimized. That's 1.6 per 1,000, not 250 per 1,000. What a crock. Just 2 weeks ago, Elliot Rodger went on a killing spree in Isla Vista, California, a devastating culmination of his hatred of women. I believe he killed more men than women, but why, using one person like that? As Stalin said, one death is a tragedy, a million is a statistic. So I'm not interested in Elliot Rodger. He was absolutely out of his fucking mind anyway. It's not just about violence, she continues. The gender wage gap, oh Jesus. All I'm going to say on this is it's been discredited so many times. I think most people listening to this know that it's just bullshit. Feminists in the media or in politics, no feminists can ever let them point to one single private company and declare that company breaks the law when it comes to sex discrimination against women, when it comes to equal pay. In Britain, we had our Equal Pay Act in 1970. In the United States, 1963, they had it, and over 50 years later, feminists are still talking shit about this and claiming that it's due to discrimination. I'm not going through all the reasons, because I'm sure you know all of them. And that 1963 equal pay legislation was furthermore backed up by Title VII of the Civil Rights Act the following year. Anyway, she says, according to the Institute for Women's Policy Research, oh fuck that, I can care less what they had to say. Skipping down, she says, empowering young women, of course, is critical to dismantling patriarchy. The only patriarchy that I can think of are the political patriarchy and the media patriarchy, and they are bigoted against men. They dump all over men further down the line than them. So she wants young women to be empowered, and she expects boys to support this. Does she believe that boys should be empowered? Or will that turn them into rapists and abusers? It's even more important to mindfully raise and educate boys to respect women. Yeah, how about teaching girls to respect men? Because everywhere they look on TV, they see men made to look imbeciles in comedies, in adverts, and all over the bloody place. And she says, stamp out misogyny before it sprouts. Well, how about stamping out misandry as well? So this woman is openly sexist, and yet it's sexism that she's complaining about. Typical feminists. She then goes on to mention a violence prevention organisation, A Call to Men. And apparently these people, she's got a spokesperson for them here, Tony Porter, one of the co-founders, and they conduct workshops on football fields and in community centres across the country. During these sessions, young men are encouraged to question traditional gender roles and challenge sexist and misogynist attitudes, often in the presence of women. That sounds like utter humiliation to me. Humiliation and shaming tactics. And does this A Call to Men talk about misandry and sexism against boys and men? Because if they don't, they're just plain bloody sexist. This Tony Porter continues, as a society, the only emotion we allow boys to have is anger. That is a fucking lie. But if a boy ever encountered this guy and listened to his shit, then he'd have a bloody good right to be angry. The playing field can be fertile ground for dismantling patriarchal attitudes. That's right, feminists get everywhere. Anything that seems to be dominated by males, it has to be invaded. A Call for Men collaborates with coaches such as Ron Rivera, head football coach for the Carolina Panthers, who worked with the organisation to design its A Call to Coaches program. Jesus Christ. Anyway, apparently there's some Rob Barron, a self-identified feminist father, says he's grateful that his son plays in co-ed soccer and basketball teams that require no tryouts and prioritise fun over fierce competition. That fierce competition, of course, is one of the reasons that men get ahead in the workplace more than women, and feminists know it. That is why they desperately try to, in this country, they try to stop sports days. They turn the tug of war into a tug of love. Anything to take away boys' natural competitive edge over girls. Anyway, this guy continues, such teams drive home a critical message that boys and girls are equal. They are not. I dealt with this yesterday. I was talking about men and women, and I punctuated what I was saying by pointing out that the world high jump record for a two-legged woman is only just higher than that for a one-legged man. Anyway, Robert DeLeon, founder of Bro Models, an organisation that does community outreach to end violence against women and girls. Well, Robert, I'm sure you're a well-meaning guy, but what about violence against men and boys? And what about violence against children, most of which is committed by women? The natural mother is around twice as likely to abuse children as the natural father. Now, I'll give this guy the benefit of the doubt and consider he doesn't know that, but he should get his fucking mind right and stop this shit. One-sided shit, I should say. During his workshops, DeLeon encourages boys to question the division of labour in their homes. Well, I'm sure he means well, but the two biggest arguments that couples have in the home are over finances and the division of the housework. Women have been brainwashed by feminists for decades into believing that men should come home and do all their bloody work for them. I got to get a digging at women here. If a woman's work is never done these days, it's because she won't fucking do it. She expects a man to do it. Anyway, she continues, delegating chores more evenly, and in fact, getting rid of the notion of women's work altogether. Well, I thought I just fucking said that. And this feminist guy, Moniz, says he makes a point of always talking to his son about sexism on television. I got rid of my fucking television almost 10 years ago because I was sick and tired of the non-stop sexism against men. Daytime TV, comedies, adverts, etc., etc. Anyway, last paragraph, thank God, I'll just do the first line. There is no panacea for misogyny and sexism. And what the fuck does this woman care about misandry and sexism against men? In this article, apparently absolutely nothing at all. Typical feminist. If you've got this far, and God knows it was difficult enough for me, thumbs up always helps, and please consider subscribing. And thank you very much if you've already subscribed. Thank you.